Section 3.5, we're on the back of the worksheet. We're going to do a few of these together. In this first section, it's a new set of directions. They're telling you to identify the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the line and then use those intercepts to write the equation of the line. So that's your y-intercept, that's your x-intercept. If I was to write them as ordered pairs, I would write them like this. The x-intercept is -1, 0. Notice how the 0 is in the y-coordinate. That's what makes this an x-intercept. And then my y-intercept is 0, +2. Notice how the x is a 0. That's what makes this a y-intercept. So can you use these 2 points to write an equation of a line? Yeah, you definitely can. So you need to find the slope and the y-intercept, which we already have. You could use your formula to write the slope, or you could just count on this graph. I think that's probably easier. I don't know if that's what they intended, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to count up 2 and 1 to the right. So that means my slope is 2 over 1. So here's your answer. Here's the equation. Y equals mx plus b. My m is 2, and my y-intercept, I already know, is also 2. That's your answer to number 23. When you come down here to the next section, they're asking you to graph. So to graph, again, you need a slope and a y-intercept. Well, the way it's written, I don't know the slope and the y-intercept, so I need to get y by itself, and to do that I need to add x to both sides. And when I do that, notice how the y-intercept is 1, so I can plot that. And then my slope is also 1, that's the coefficient of x. So I'm going up 1 and over 1. And then I can carefully choose my straight edge. I'm going to connect these points. And that's the graph of that equation. And that's basically how they all go. Now sometimes the simplifying is a little bit tougher, a little more involved. So if you look at number 29, again, you don't know what the slope of the y-intercept is, just like the last one we did, but you can figure it out. Get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So 2y is going to equal -4x plus 8. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2. So y equals -2x plus 4. I'm just dividing both of these terms by 2. Now here's what you want. There's your slope, there's your y-intercept. Let's plot it. Y-intercept. Now your slope is -2. Remember, we like to write that as a fraction. That way we can see the rise and the run. It's not written that way in the equation, which is okay. But we know it's -2 over 1. So I'm going down 2 and 1 to the right. Down 2, 1 to the right. There's your graph. Notice how the slope is negative. Notice how the graph goes downhill. Let's do one more. This one is definitely a little more involved, so I'm going to simplify over here. I need to get y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And when I do that, I get this. Then I'm going to divide everything by 2. So when I divide by 2, I'm going to get 3/2 x plus 2. This is really easy to see the slope and the y-intercept now. So you're going to do a little bit of algebra first. Y-intercept is 2. And the slope is 3/2. So I'm going up 3. Uh-oh, I'm kind of off the grid. Can't really do that. So couldn't I just make both negative? Remember that little trick. So instead of going up 3, 2 to the right, I can go down 3 and 2 to the left, which works. Okay, one other thing I want to point out, because a lot of people make the mistake on this problem, is number 28. It's not a difficult one, but notice what the scale is. Now you're counting by 2s. So watch yourself. The ones we did together, you're counting by 1s. Just be aware of the scale, please.